Hi and welcome to another Watch Geek video. Today, we're taking a look at an Orient Kamasu, also known as Mako III. It is the third design variation of pretty much the same watch. The original was the Mako that I already reviewed on my channel. The Mako has been a legend in the watch world when it comes to affordable dive watches, and one that has evolved over time, catering to the wishes of the buyers. So with time, Orient updated the movement to a more modern F6922 that features both hacking and hand winding that was missing on the old one. But more importantly, they moved the quick set for both date and day to the crown, eliminating the button at 2 o'clock that the first generation had, and one that I never personally liked. Next to Mako, you also had Orient Ray, that had a more generic dial with rounded markers, mimicking the design of the Rolex Submariner. So if you wanted something original, you went with the Mako, and if you wanted something more classic, you went with the Ray. Both are amazing watches for the money, but they do have flaws that Orient kind of fixed with this. The two most important updates are the inclusion of a sapphire crystal instead of mineral found on the other two, and a thicker and easier to operate bezel. On the Mako and Ray, the bezel was pretty hard to grip as it was pretty thin and angled towards the case, which did make it look more elegant, but also very slippery. On this, the 120 click bezel is slightly more pronounced, but still not as large as on the SKX007, hitting a sweet spot between usability and elegance. Thanks to the slightly redesigned case, the overall thickness didn't increase, staying at a reasonable 13 mm. The other dimensions are pretty much the same as well. So with 41.5 mm in diameter and a lug-to-lug of 46.3, this watch will hit the sweet spot for most people. When put side to side, it does appear larger than both Mako and Ray, but that is down to the dial configuration, which again shows improvement over the other two. Mako and Ray both have a chapter ring that moves the hour markers inwards, while on this, the minute hashes are printed on the dial and the hour markers are pushed almost to the very edge. What makes me happy is the fact Orient didn't fall into a trap of SHS, or shortness of hand syndrome, which would have happened if they used the hands from the Mako and Ray, that are already too short for my taste in those models. Instead, they use a new set of hands that are slightly different in design, but more importantly, much longer than the Mako hands. This means all the hands reach their designated markers, and if you follow my channel, you know that is a big deal for me. With polished hands and hour markers and an ample amount of lume, this is a watch that is very easy to read in every situation. With this variant, Orient also played with the colors. So this comes in a range of colors, with green and this burgundy red being the most original. I never would have thought about buying a dive watch with a red dial, but after spending time with this, I'm starting to consider it. The velvety red dial has a sunburst effect that changes the dial from black to ruby red as you wear it, and I must admit has to be one of the most interesting dials that I have handled. The thing that didn't change much is the bracelet. 22 mm in width, it features solid links but still comes with hollow end links and a stamped clasp. The clasp is very sturdy though, despite being stamped, so it is more like a Seiko Monster in feel rather than a more flimsy Seiko 5. I'm sure in the future we will see improvements in that area as well, as Orient obviously listens to their buyers and evolves their divers accordingly. Price-wise, this has a premium of about $100 over the Mako and Ray, coming in at $460 officially, but can be found at about $220 to $280 online. It is quite a premium over the other two, but in my opinion the premium is worth it. Not just because of the sapphire, which is the only real cost increase, but also the other refinements, like the bezel and hands design. To me, this is a better balanced watch overall, and one I might add to my collection as a daily beater, especially since Orient was the brand I owned as my first mechanical watch, and they are responsible for sucking me into this addiction. The only question that remains is the color of the dial. Seeing how mesmerizing this red one is, I can't stop wondering how good the green one looks in person. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and until the next video, bye.